Newsflash, I'm your anchor, Josie.
And I'm your other anchor, Sean. And because you were probably pouring one out for Cucumber Martini for Rockwell's Republic, we have the local, national, and world stories that you may have missed.
You're welcome, Grand Rapids. This is
NewsFlash. Dong ding, our top story tonight. Yeah, you know what? I'm sure you all would just love me to start off another week with a long rant about all the stupid, infuriating, scary shit this convicted felon got up to this week. But there is literally too much to go over and make jokes about. So just call your representatives, do what you gotta do to stay informed, because these aren't just wacky hijinks anymore. It's worth keeping track of. But to hit a few highlights, dumbass Nazi abandoned his kid in addition to figuratively abandoning his other kids. The jackass Nazi did the Nazi thing again. The weak-ass beard Nazi went to Germany and quoted Hitler, the head Nazi. Fat-ass Nazi blamed the Ukrainian war on Ukraine by defending itself instead of letting Russia invade Ukraine after the president of Ukraine denied Trump access to drilling in Ukraine in exchange for helping Ukraine, and instead got all buddy-buddy with Putin again, because of course he fucking did, and held a peace negotiation with everyone but the president of Ukraine. And then he got in a tiff with the governor of Maine over trans athletes in Maine. Something mundane that literally affects none of the people in Maine who complain the most about the game just because they want to feign disdain over teens trying to train in the lane they feel most germane, because this bird-brained shit stain wants to be inhumane. Meanwhile, airplanes continue to rain down in flames, causing sprains and pain, and I'm gonna blow a friggin' vein.
Speaking of crumbling infrastructure as it literally deteriorates in front of our eyes. Friday, Hillary Schulten announced a $25 million grant to replace the Beltline Bridge over 196, which according to pictures and anyone with eyes, suffers from clear signs of cracking and rust. At the moment, there is no immediate timeline, but it would take about a year according to MDOT. Also, no word yet on when they plan to fix the S-curve. Just in general.
It shouldn't be that curvy. In business news, quantum computing stocks nosedived last month after NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang said the tech is at least 20 years away from being useful. I think I understand why Wall Street might be a little nervous about that statement. I mean, that's a long time to wait for something to be useful. By then, we're either going to be on Dom Jr.'s second term, or we're just all going to be on fire. Either way, the only use any of us are going to have for AI at that point is trying to figure out a recipe when all you have in your pantry is Patriot Doomsday food and murder cockroaches.
More stock news. A new report claims that used car seller Carvana's recent turnaround is a mirage propped up by unstable loans and accounting manipulation. Makes sense. Every time I'm in Novi and I drive past that giant tower vending machine filled with cars floating in the sky, I think to myself, that's gotta be an optical illusion. How many of those cars do you think are expired by now? Sketchy. The idea that a used car dealer would use shady financial tactics is so shocking. I mean, their mascot is literally just one of those wacky waving inflatable things.
A daycare worker in Caledonia was disciplined after she used a melatonin spray on the nap mats. That's the true part. The employee, who was not dismissed, reached out to News 8 to say that she had no malicious intent in using it. She just wanted to help the kids have a good nap. Also, it's Caledonia, right? Those kids are going to be hitting way harder stuff in a couple years. Relax, Caledonia parents. Other refused nap time rituals included the pass-out game and baby's first Ambien. Also, it is noteworthy that she only used the spray on 3 of the mats. Now, if you've ever worked with kids, you know that there are exactly 3 kids at that daycare who are literal demons. Just saying.
In science news, MIT engineers have developed a glue composed of mucus from both humans and mussels. It apparently is bacteria resistant and stays tacky even on wet surfaces. Using boogers as glue? Any kindergartner could have told you that. Even the ones from Caledonia. The MIT scientists noticed the link to the secretion from mussels attaching themselves to the hull of ships and say this adhesive could be useful in biomedical applications like sneaking your snotty kids overseas.
You know, back in my day, BioGlue is what made my socks stick to the floor. What happened to that applause break from earlier? No way. Look out, rideshare apps. There's a new king in town, Protector. A new app that went live in the Apple Store last week is a business that pairs you with an actual veteran or former law enforcement as private security personnel to serve as additional protection when needed, end quote. A representative of the app referred to it succinctly as Uber with guns. Great! In case you've ever been sketched out by your Uber driver or Lyft driver and thought, man, what if they were also packing heat? Right now, the service is only available in LA or New York because of course it is, but give it time, the rate Elon's going, there's going to be a bunch more unemployed veterans and cops looking for something to do.
The cost for one guard and one car for a 5-hour duration, which is the minimum amount of time users can book, in LA is listed at $1,000 plus an annual member fee of $129. For an extra $50, they will call you Mr. President. For an extra $100, they'll let you hold the gun. For an extra $300, they will keep all homeless people 1,000 yards away from you at all times. And there will also be price surging on Memorial Day, Labor Day, and Luigi Mangioni's birthday.
It's a high traffic time. And if guns are a little too modern and accurate for you, tough luck. Local axe-throwing business Flannel Jacks is getting the axe. Closing permanently as of yesterday. Thanks a lot, Canada tariffs. I think might actually have something to do with that. Now, if any of us want to throw an axe, you're going to have to start talking to your dad again. Or just drive a little bit further, you know. Canada's that way. Now, the owners also announced that on the final day of operation, guests were finally going to be allowed to stand in front of the targets with an apple on their head. But, however, management also said this is not the end. They are in development of a javelin throwing and flamethrower store. So, be on the lookout for that. And now, because, let's just face it, things are stressful. We need to unwind a little bit just as much as anyone. So, here with some reality TV recap is our reality correspondent, Trebuchet!
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yes. So last time we talked about Love Island.
Yes, yes. So it was juicy. Oh, it was juicy.
Yeah. But what have we moved on to now? What's on Trebuchet's to watch list?
Yes, on Trebuchet's to watch list this season, we are talking about traitors.
Ooh, okay.
That's right. So spoiler alert, if you're not up to date, I am going to lay some truth on all of you out here tonight.
Now, how many episodes are there currently out?
There is roughly 10 to 12 right now.
So that's like, a day of
it
not
airs
leaving your bed?
Yeah, every Thursday they come out and I pop my popcorn and I am glued to the television, Seanster.
All right.
And it started with 21 Battle Royal participants, essentially. I'm gonna break it down WWE style for everybody. And there's a couple of ringers they bring in, like Boston Rob is the Undertaker of reality TV. He's from Survivor.
Right.
He's won everything.
Okay. Yeah.
And then there's this guy called Wes. He's from Big Brother.
Oh, okay.
He, according to him, is the winningest contestant ever in all of reality TV. Wow. I call him Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
There, okay, gotcha. And these are all, just to be clear, metaphors. They're not actually getting the actual wrestlers in, right? I'm stupid, so I need to be...
Don't get ahead. The reason I'm watching Traitors here, Seanster, is because former WWE Diva champion Nikki Bella was a participant this year, you guys. I know. And dare I say, Nikki Bella is the Nikki Bella of Traitors. Going on a limb there, but I'm pretty sure.
This astute analysis is why we bring you here and don't pay you money.
I do it for you guys. Love of the game. Love of the game. And you know how she's doing right now?
How?
Banished. Gone.
Gone.
I know. Told you. Spoiler alert. Yeah.
What happened?
So there's round tables. Basically, everybody sits around, and every week it's a Montreal screw job. You thought your friends were your friends. They're not your friends. They're coming out of secret rooms. You're like, that was a bookcase. Why is there people in there? And you have to break it down and be like, you know what? I think Seanster is a traitor.
Well, what?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
We know that.
Yeah, well,
Hey, come on. Josie, what?
we were in the kitchen. He said he was making a smoothie, but there was no blender. How are you making a smoothie, Seanster?
I like, the pre-mixed stuff and you just add water.
Sounds like traitor behavior to me.
Oh, no. Josie, you gotta believe me. I like smoothies.
Where's the blender?
No use talking, Sean.
That's right. So, and then there's a vote. There's a vote. There's a little chalkboard thing, and then everybody writes in cursive just to confuse the younger people out there to make it seem like it's a more mature show. It's not. And then somebody gets voted off and banished. But at the end, they reveal whether they're a faithful or a traitor.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Are these predetermined, or they choose their own paths?
Yes, well, the host, Alan, is
yeah.
yes, he is fashion icon, by the way.
Yes,
Fashion icon. And he selects the traitors, and every night, the traitors meet up in the clock tower, because it's extra spooky, garnish their green robes, and plan for murder.
Whoa.
And people end up dead!
Dang. Wow.
And they've eliminated some faithfuls.
Okay.
They've eliminated some traitors, but this season's really good. You know why?
Why is that?
Because traitors are turning on traitors.
Whoa!
I know! It's a double swerve! I'm like, what are you talking about? Just when you think somebody's going over the top rope, somebody else goes over the top rope. It's crazy.
Wow. Okay. So if there's anything else that people should know before they, go into this, because we don't want to spoil everything for them, but
yes.
What would you say is the moment that people should be looking for without giving it away? Like what episode are you like, oh, this is the one where shit hits the fan?
I would say the one where shit hits the fan is probably the third mission, where it's kind of like Fear Factor. And you have to choose a partner, and you stick your hand in a box, and you hold hands, and they open the box, and periodically they dump in things like maggots and worms.
So it's like Fear Factor.
It's like Fear Factor. They're Fear Factoring me.
So this is
I'm a feared.
just like all the reality shows thrown in.
It is.
I hate to say no other way to say it. A blender.
Yes, exactly. Oh, well, there's the blender again. He's a traitor. He's a traitor. That's my time, you guys.
Trebuchet. I swear to God, everyone, I'm not a traitor.
Don't trust him.
There's always just a lot of pulp. I like it to be a more smooth smoothie.
Only a traitor would defend as hard as you are right now, Sean.
Okay, fair enough. Good point.
Back to NewsFlash.
Yeah.
Thank you, Trebuchet. Another Midwest institution is also having troubles, as Jo-Ann Fabrics filed for bankruptcy last month for the second time in less than a year. Apparently, a business model relying mostly on grandmothers was not viable in this market. Not after Jo-Ann's financial support got cut off from sugar daddy Michaels. "We can't believe this isn't us," quoted Hobby Lobby. An auction is being held this Friday for some brave entrepreneur to buy out the business as a whole, as well as a giant pile of cotton balls, only slightly used. Maybe the new owner will pivot to something more modern, so look forward to Jo-Ann's Vape Shop.
That'd be cool. Speaking of people buying beloved institutions, Amazon announced it is now the owner of the James Bond franchise, which means we are mere days away from Jeff Bezos announcing himself as the new Bond. That's right. Yeah, the intro of the next installment will feature Bond disguised in a blue vest, delivering one bullet via drone. And he's going to be driven around by one of those guys in Hoover for guns. So, Alexa, order me a dry martini, shaken, not stirred.
Queuing up Three Amigos with Steve Martin and Martin Short.
Oh, Alexa, that's not what I said. Okay. Announced in titles are rumored to include Buy Another Day and From China with Love.
Also look forward to Live and Let Prime and You Only Ship Twice.
Doctor No Bathroom Breaks and its sequel, The Man with the Golden Bottle.
Last Tuesday, we can sit. Okay, have fun. Last Tuesday night, Justin Timberlake brought Sexy back to Van Andel on the final leg of his world tour, which apparently was not ruined, having postponed the show back in October due to illness, and not certainly his DUI charge. Timberlake expressed gratitude to his fans multiple times during the show, but amidst near zero February temperatures, also joked, "I don't know how y'all live here." His hardcore fans, in a sign of solidarity with the partying pop star, cleaned Van Andel out of White Claws before the end of the opening act. While the tour is titled Forget Tomorrow, to which these patrons responded, "Why not just blackout tonight?"
The Oscars are this Sunday, so let's talk about a movie that got snubbed. Since, we'll have plenty of time to talk about the other ones next week. In a recent interview, Nicole Kidman disclosed that on the set of her spicy thriller Baby Girl, she had to pause filming at one point because she, quote, didn't want to orgasm anymore. This marks history as the first time a woman has ever complained about coming too much.
Meanwhile, Kidman is still edging Michigan audiences as her movie Holland, partially filmed in Holland, Michigan, back in March 2023, has yet to receive a release date. When asked about the delay, Kidman replied,
"We come to this place for magic. We come for laugh, to cry, to care. And if I don't get a major release while filming, neither does the movie." Let's face it, no one in Holland has ever had a real orgasm. Take that, Holland! And Caledonia.